next question is mine. It says, Chan expressed his displeasure with the way Frank acted at dinner. He said he would send him a little reminder of who's in control. What do you think Chan will do to Frank? I don't know what he's going to do, but he's going to do something because he was like in his fat ass. I was like, oh, he mad. Like, he wasn't a little bit
Right.
of mad. He was really, really upset with Frank. And so he's like, okay. So, I mean, I wondered about that because at the dinner scene, Chan was really cool, calm, and collective. But I wonder, are you going to come for Frank? So I'm curious to see what he might do. Do I think that Frank's going to end up back at the warehouse chained up, beaten within an inch of his life? I don't think it'll probably go that far unless Frank continued on acting this way. Then I think he would have to be like, okay, we're going to have to break some ribs in a kneecap next time. Or maybe even shoot you in a kneecap, cut off a toe or something. Because you need to know, like, you're not in control of this, like, situation. Like, Chan has bossed up and he has decided that he has become the new daddy of the Williams family. He already got
Yeah,
Sandy
that's
on
his
board,
family
Leah
now.
on board. Yeah, he's like, this is my family. He didn't pull the Debo, you know what I'm saying? Where give me that necklace? Like, it's Debo's house. So I think that's what Chan's pretty much feeling like. I mean, for real, I really feel like he gonna pull a Debo on Frank. Like, who do you think you talking to? That's my chain. And they're trying to hide stuff. There's no hiding from him, but I definitely feel like something's gonna happen to Frank. So you stay tuned to find out what Chan might do. Latest.
Yeah, he did play cool, calm. He was collected at dinner. He even laughed a little bit at Frank. And definitely, like he won't be in a warehouse beat down, like just like Karina said. I don't think Chan will risk that. It'd be too much because he already slipped up to Sandy. Asian people, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah. And she ain't stupid. She will put it together like, hold on, you got beat up again, like, or allegedly robbed again, or whatever, by Asian gangsters. Okay.
Wait a
And then
minute.
there's this Asian rich guy that's coming around, offering,
All
throwing
of a
all kinds of
sudden,
money.
we don't know nothing about.
Right. And
Convenient.
she probably knows that he has a gambling problem at this issue, at this
Yeah.
point. So, a little reminder, maybe a little slap in the head and back of the head, and you know, pin him up against the wall. Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
get your ass together, get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Before you do
Yeah.
end up back in that warehouse. Whatever he does, I think he will do something, send some type of little reminder. Because Frank is, even though he's surprisingly talking all this mess and acting up, he is afraid of him. So it's
Yeah.
not going to take much. Just a little, like I said, a little pop in the head or something. Like, hey, get in line.
Get punched in the stomach and thrown up against a brick
Remember that.
wall. Yeah.
Right. Like you remember what we talked about. So
You remember.
yeah, I'm not sure what he
Humble
will.
thyself.
I'm sure he will do something to humble him. He will humble him for sure.
Humble thyself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Chan's going to call Frank for a meeting and he's going to have his boys standing behind him. He's going to grab that hand that he already broke and squeeze it a little bit and get in his face and be like, now you remember,
That's smart.
I already
Hmm.
own your wife. I got Malia. So, give him a little reminder. He's not
I'm the daddy of this family.
Yeah, so I agree. He's not going to do too much, but I do think he's going to have a little meeting and remind him what's at stake
You need
here.
some type of work. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Next question is yours, Kitty A.
Yeah. All right. Chan seems to be consumed with having Malia. He watched her as she slept. How far do you think his obsession with her will go? Till death do we part, baby.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's
That I was gonna say the
I
same
agree.
thing. She ain't never gonna get rid. She'll never know no peace. um,
She'll
she
never know
never
it.
she got a problem on her hands for this man to already have surveillance on everybody that she knows and her shop and everything. And and he is attracted to it. It's not just I want to get back at Frank, so I'm gonna hurt his family. It's like, hold on, no, I actually like
Right.
that one. To watch her sleep and interact with her and stuff like that, yeah, it's game over. It's
Oh,
game
it
over
definitely
for
is game over.
Aaliyah. She's gonna
Mm-hmm.
become Mrs. Chan,
You
Mrs.
better talk
Brother
about
Chan.
it.
Game over.
That's Brother Chan Kong's wife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mrs. Kong.
It's Mrs. Kong, honey. I agree. I feel like how far will he go? I mean, he's gone pretty far already. And the obsession is real. I mean, you got cameras in somebody's bathroom, their bedroom. You got them like the cars bug. Like you didn't figure out a way to track her, even with her phone, like her stores, her conversations. He's already gone very far. But I do believe, like what Kyrie said, it's gonna be some to death do us part because he's already told Frank, if I can't have Malia the way that I want Malia, your whole family can just go bye bye. Like he's already he didn't set himself up. Like I didn't been having dreams about this woman. She belongs to me now. Okay, I wasn't dreaming about her for the last year for it not to be for me. Like this is mine. God told me she was my wife. So that's what he's on. He's on some. Yeah, God told me. He's on some. I no, she's mine, and that's all we doing. That's all we know about it. So I feel like Jan's willing to go all the way. And I feel like he's also a person who's he's not accustomed to hearing somebody, I'm not actually interested in you. He knows Malia is interested in him, and he's like, okay, what's the problem? Like, what don't you see that you don't like? Like, make it make sense. Like, I know you want this. I know you want that hammer. So I think that he is looking at the situation like, she's already mine. You know, this is my property. This is mine. I own that platter. Uh, yeah, I feel like at this point ain't nothing else to do besides start killing people. You know what I mean? Like we're going all the way in Jesus' name. So yeah, I definitely believe it's gonna be some death do us part style stuff. She's his, and that's it. And if he stopped liking her, loving her, that'd probably be a blessing for her. But at this point, he's locked in, honey. He got his target is set. And when people have obsessions with you, they don't lose those obsessions. Like on all the little crazy shows I watch, when they lock their sights on, they can be set on you for years. You know, they don't just easily. Oh, okay, I'm over it now. Nah, there's something about you. Something I don't know what it is about you, but I'm gonna stalk you even to death. Oh, so you don't want me now? Okay, break line cut. So yeah, go ahead, Lisa, because I saw you come up off your thing. You want to say something?
Oh no, I that was a
You
oops.
do?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. I was like, ooh, what's she gonna add?
Girl, you know I'm always just bouncing off of you, but no, did Kyrie answer already? Yeah, she did. She kept it short and sweet. She said death.
She always works with her. She was on. Yeah, she said definitely. I was like, that's
I
perfect.
was like, well, hey.
I mean, it was that's it. I mean, we're
Right.
wasn't much
She's like, well,
explaining necessary. Chan don't do a lot of talking. It's just like either you is or you ain't, and if you ain't, you dead. Yeah.
you either go get down or lay
You
down.
know,
Remember that?
Right.
yeah, Beanie
Exactly.
Siegel style.
Beanie Siegel. Yeah. So,
Yes.
moving on. When Chris showed up, my heart stopped. Something told me he was coming back. Do you think Chris will hurt her? Definitely. This man ran away punching his own face, talking about this bitch is over. Like, I'm like, damn, so this bitch is over? Like, whoa.
It's a disrespect for me. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I've
he
never heard
beat
it put
himself
that
up.
way before. But no, and I've said it earlier when we were talking about, our thoughts that Chris took that he took it too well when Malia let him know, like, basically, yeah, this ain't what you think it is, and blah blah blah, and went on her. I said, no, buddy, that is a recipe for a stalker. And yeah, he said he had been to like 10 different condos
10
and
different
girls.
places.
He was going floor to floor hoping to count. I'm like, some next level mess. Like, whoa. And she just happened to get, and she got off on the wrong floor and, ran into him. And I'm like,
Yeah. He was down there in the garage. Wow, right?
push your flowers in her face. These are for you. I mean, she's not taking them, and you still trying to push them in her face. And she's like, hey, bruh, I'm allergic, basically. Get them out my face. Yeah, no, my heart, I chuckled a little bit when I read. I was like, oh, he back. I knew that was coming. I definitely think if he gets the opportunity, he will hurt her. I mean, that rejection was team too much for him. He was like, nah, nah, that's to run away like that, punching your own face. I'm just like, dang, this bro he also he needs some meds. He got to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Chris will definitely, he'll try for sure. For sure. Yeah. I wish she had told Chan about it though.
Girl, he would have turned out and turned that place
He
out.
would have probably made one phone call and it would have been game over. Like, what?
Yeah.
He did what? Where? What did he look like? All
he
right.
would have turned that joint out.
He would have mysteriously disappeared again. But
he would have put a silencer on his gun. What is that? You have a gun?
Like,
he would be taking people out on the street. Is that him? He shot an old lady.
Terrible.
I'm just saying, Chan would have lost it. Everybody would have been getting gunned down, pew pew, because they had a silencer. Like, I don't know who did it, sir. He about that life when it comes to Malia, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
But it's so crazy that because I do think Chris would hurt her if Malia doesn't give him what he wants, which is her. But also, I mean, we're dealing with Chan here. He's on the same thing that Chris is on.
Right.
You don't give me what I want, which is you. I'm gonna kill you too. So it's just like I just like my girl.
Different tax bracket.
Right, different. Yeah, that's what it is.
Exactly.
Like
my girl is doomed all the way around. It's just going to be a longer haul for Chan, to explode, when all that stuff goes down.
Right.
But I'm just like, man, either way, Malia, say your goodbyes.
Right. Somebody taking you out one way or another. You got to go. You got to go. You've seen 27 good years.
On your way.
You got to go.
Mm-hmm.
On their way out the door. Yeah, I thought the whole situation with, Malia was super distracted and, she was on her phone already sending emails and reaching out to, Eva always beats Malia to the store anyway. Like Malia gets to work on time. Eva gets to work half an hour, 45 minutes early because she's just about that life. So she's already like, okay, what's going on? And then there's this guy and Malia's like, oh, excuse me. As she tries to walk around him, she's like, dang it, like I'm in the parking garage, I'm supposed to be up at the lobby. Okay. And then it happens to be Chris, like all this perfect timing. And he just wows out. He's gonna shove them. I mean, could you imagine? These are for you. This is like my eye,
Right.
I got assaulted with chocolate or whatever it was and some flowers. So yeah, that was just really, really crazy that he did all that. And then he's so proud of himself. He was just, I've been to 10 different condos and yeah, and I've just been looking around for you.
Right. I'm like, read the room.
What kind of energy is that? That's next level energy.
Girl, this fool must have been stalking her even at school because he was probably like, okay, well, that car looks like the car that Malia drove and it does have the same license plate. Let me verify. That's the license plate. So I know she has to drive herself. So he's waiting down there because he's thinking she's going to drive herself. But it's early in the morning. So it's like, how long have you been hiding in the parking garage? Have you been there all night since midnight, rocking back and forth? Like
he said he would pick her up at like 7 a.m. And I'm like, I mean, he got
how long have you been there?
That alarm. It's 5 o'clock.
I think that Chris has all the makings. Yeah, I think Chris has all the makings of hurting somebody. Again, a lot of stalking situations do not go well. Stalkers want to consume you. And the weird part to me always like, even when celebrities start getting stalked, how they have people who want to kill them. Like they're your biggest fans and they make these weird shrines, but for whatever reason, they want to murder you. Like they're like, I want us to die together in a bloody bath. Like it's just always weird to me when you look at those like Hollywood stories of people who were stalked and then the stalkers actually killed them. You didn't just stalk them, put them in the basement and be like, okay, I have supper for us. No, it's like, I want you to die and I want us to die together. type of mess is this? So usually, yeah, it doesn't work out very well. And does he have to make his to hurt her? Absolutely. He beat himself up. He got mad and threw the
Right.
vase of flowers, like, how dare you tell me, you don't want this. And I think like Malia she was very stern. Like she was like, you can't do this. You can't show up here. I think I would have been like afraid. I'd have been like, oh, Chris, that was really nice of you. Let's go to the lobby. But Malia was like, no, because I don't know, just for you to show up like that, I would have been scared. I probably would have been trying to be nice about it, just trying to get around people so I could start screaming, help! But, Malia was just like, she bossed up on him. She's like, don't you ever do this again. I can't take this from you. I'm sorry. And she was like, this is really weird. And he was like, weird. Weird. And then he just threw the stuff and just like started shaking violently. And it's like, yeah, he said, this bitch is over. Wow, so there's no respect there. Clearly, he beat himself. He just started punching himself in the face. If he's willing to hurt himself, he's willing to hurt her too. He's very, very dangerous. So, let's say a prayer for our sisters. Hold hands, because she's gonna need all that. She's gonna need an intervention from God.
Praise God.
All day. Big time. The way Chris threw the vase let me know he meant business. I'm glad Malia was firm with him, but why didn't she call the police on him when, at that time or whatever, then and there? It took me back to something that happened years ago. And Lisa, you were there. So we've talked about our relative who is, who chooses to be homeless and on drugs because just about everybody has offered this individual a place to stay. And this individual was just like, no, I like living in the street. You like living in homeless camps? So this individual will show up, randomly and just like, can I have some money? Or they'll do things like around the house to make money. Not my house, of course, my mom's house or the funeral home. But they would show up and, be able to take showers and just do things. And so anyways, we were at my mom's house one night and this individual, I guess, went to the bathroom and got high or something because they came back and everybody was like, what's wrong with this person? And they were just like barely conscious. And I'm like, oh my God, I think he got high or whatever. Like, we need to call an ambulance. And do you remember me and my mom got into it because she was, I'm not going to have the police at my house. And me and Alicia were like, whoa, it was just a lot of people had this.
Like, I think he almost OD'd or some mess. And I'm
yeah.
no, we need to get, but yeah, Kitty was adamant about the police not coming. So
don't call the police. And I'm like, and I said, so what about if he dies?
Right.
I was like, what if he dies? And she's like, he ain't gonna die. Just put him in the room and lay down. I'm like, I think so it was like after that, I really was upset with myself because I'm like, I should have just called the police anyway. Like I shouldn't have I'm like, because if that person would have died, I would have felt responsible. But my family has been you don't call the cops. We'll take care of it ourselves if we need to take care of it ourselves. I guess you have to wait for people to start bleeding uncontrollably out their nose. Like, I think something's wrong. Let's just pack them up and take them to, St. Joseph Hospital or something, right? But a lot of times with families, there's this, don't bring no attention to yourself. Like, don't call the police. Just try to deal with it. Try to manage it. Don't do that, people. Break the cycle. If somebody needs help, please get them help. And I told my mom, I said, I know you're going to disagree with me. I said, but if anything ever like that happens again, I'm calling 911. I told her because it will not be on my conscience if somebody dies because I don't want police. I don't want the people traveling through my house. I don't want them asking me questions. This person could have died. And everybody's like, call the police for that. Alicia was like, Karina. And I was just like, and we're grown-ups going back and forth with my mom in the living room.
This wasn't
we need to call, ambulance.
That long ago.
It wasn't. It was like 5 years ago. And I remember I was like, well, we'll just carry him outside. And she's like, I don't want that type of attention around my home. Because there's an ambulance outside. Girl, she lost it. And I told her, I said, we're not going to agree on this. I said, but if something like this ever happens again, I will not just go quiet. I'm calling the cops and then I'm going to have to get in the car and go home because I'll be told, you got out of my house. And I'll leave. That's why God gave me a debit card and my own money and gasoline in my car. I'll just go back home to Vancouver. I ain't got to worry about this. But it's not okay. And so that kind of brought me back to feeling like, why didn't she call the police? Because a lot of people have been don't call the police. And not even just because they don't like the police, but it's more so of the look that it creates at your house. That's why you have couples who will have knockout, drag out fist fights, and the woman doesn't call the police. I don't want the neighbors to know. We come from a world of people who are just like, listen, what happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. We do not allow everybody to know that there's a problem out here, you know? So no, you don't want the police in front of your house. You don't want ambulance in front of your house. You don't want your neighbors talking like, oh, I wonder what happened over there. So it's foolish, but it happens far too much, and that needs to come to an end because you want to keep up an image. Mm-mm.
Right. I think she didn't call the police. I don't know. I think she just wasn't thinking police. She probably was thinking just, okay, get away from this, from this fool. By the time, and he was
Mm-hmm.
standing right there while she's on the phone. Oh yeah, and he's got a vase or whatever. Who knows? He could have had a knife.
He don't have a gun. He's got a
He don't have a gun. He don't have a gun. He's looking at me. He got a. Oh, he threw it. He means business. Come on, please help. Like,
There's broken glass everywhere.
like just get away. And plus, it's Chris. It's somebody she feels she knows. It's like, bro, come on now, get out of here. She probably don't even take them really, that serious. Even at the time, she seemed more shocked than, terrified. So I just
Right.
think, they wouldn't have got there on time, and that just would have been, more drama, more unnecessary drama, because she was able to he ran away. It wasn't even like, anybody had to chase him off. He got mad and ran off, you know. So I don't know. I just think she didn't feel it was necessary, or she wasn't even thinking about that. She was just thinking, let me get out of here. This boy's crazy. I gotta go meet Brother Chan.
Brother Chan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it escalated quickly. So she didn't even have time to react in that moment. And then, he threw the vase, yelled what he yelled, and beat himself up and took off. Like he did the work. He did the work for
He
everybody.
did it for, yeah,
So,
necessary.
she still should have said something to Jan, but he took care of himself at the end of the day. The police didn't need to be called.
He beat himself up for acting crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And maybe she didn't say anything to Chan because again, this relationship is so new that it's like, well, he's gonna think I'm problematic. And
Yeah,
a lot
definitely.
like we as women, we blame ourselves for every little thing. We blame ourselves. Well, they're gonna think that I gave him some cooch and it was magical and he can't live without it. Like we get blamed for everything,
Magical money.
It's a magical box, baby. That box is magic. But
Girl, that the emphasis on that B, the magical box. Like what? Oh Jesus.
it's the box, baby. The
The
box
box.
is very glorious. But
Ooh,
a lot of
child.
times it's like I've had people do things and everybody's like, well, what did you do to him? What do you mean what I do to him? Well, why? I mean, like why is he acting like that with you for?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you must have done something. And I was like, no, I haven't done anything. Some people are just crazy, you know, for
Right.
whatever reason. I mean, But yeah, women tend to get blamed for a lot of stuff. No, you must have misled him. I'm like, so you must have been there with us when we was having all those interactions because I was just doing the most. So, but yeah, I think that's why she didn't say anything to Chan. Probably just felt like some other way I'll be blamed for this.
Chris screamed, "This beat is over." Was that a death threat? I can't believe Malia has two stalkers now. This just keeps getting worse. What would you have done if you were her? Yeah, I don't know. It depends on how I felt in that moment because I'm like, I don't know if I would have called the police, but I definitely would have told Chan, called my brothers. I would have said something to somebody. Um, but I do understand
Right.
her hesitance to do so because I've been in that place in my life where a lot of things were going on where I should have called the police. I should have told my brothers, and I just sat there and didn't say anything because I didn't want to. I didn't want to bother nobody. What kind of crazy stuff is that? So,
No, it's
um,
real. It's real.
but now I definitely would have spoken up and said something. Oh, bump that. I'm calling Karina because I know she gonna bring that heat. Okay, so don't worry about it.
We coming through, baby.
With me
Heavy.
and so, hey, I'm coming to pick you up. Somebody's messing with
Mhm.
Kyrie. All right, I'll be ready.
And you know, Karina,
We
I'm
got
gonna
that.
be like, are you busy? Do you have time to talk? And you'll be like, spit it out. What's wrong with you?
What happened?
I
Yeah, that's me. She be trying to be all nice about my get to what happened. Now, who did it? Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. I'm an
Right.
enforcer. You better nobody touch my chicks. You better nobody say nothing because I'm coming for you. Coming for you. I fight
Mm.
for mine. Mm-hmm. Lacey, what were your thoughts? What should have
Um,
Malia done?
was that a death threat? Probably more like a promise. He definitely gonna try. Um, now she got two stalkers. Yes, she's had
Two.
two stalkers the whole time. I'm like, Malia,
Just didn't know
girl,
about it.
she don't
The
even
devil,
know. I'm like, you
the
don't even
liar.
know what you got going on. That's why them hoes at the wedding was hating. Like they could never. They could never. This girl's pulling dudes without even knowing. Got whole surveillance on her and stalking and everything, and she's just
All the
being her,
words.
minding her own African American business, just living her
The
life,
African American business. I like
her
that.
African American business. That's
African
all.
American business. I like it.
But it does keep getting worse. What would you have done if you were her? We all know Lily. He would have threw that vase. Oh, nigga, you want to play? Okay, let's go. I would have picked up a piece of glass from the broken vase and come here. We playing. I'm like,
Got a
I'm playing that.
knife. She got a shank.
Right.
Got that little
Um,
piece of glass.
Especially like somebody I didn't take as a threat. For some reason, I don't take Chris as a threat. He's like that guy, kind of like maybe not a nerd, but
He's a nerd. Let's
yeah,
call a thing a thing. He a
he's not
nerd.
intimidating. I'll be like, okay, you want to play? Let's dance a little bit, and
You
then
know,
or
I
if I
don't
didn't
think
feel
Jeffrey
like
Dahmer
fighting,
was very intimidating either, And I feel like that's what makes them dangerous is when you're like, oh, he's skinny. I could take my elbow that in his mouth or whatever, right? But even if they're skinny and they're
right?
small, they could really be dangerous. A lot of serial killers don't look
And
like
I've
much,
always
to
um
tangle with.
right. And if I didn't feel like fighting, me knowing that Chan is waiting for me upstairs, I'd be like, well, why don't you walk me to the lobby? And we would have walked out together, and I probably would have gave Chan some type of signal, like, this nigga crazy,
I need you to deal with this.
I need you to handle this. So yeah, realistically, I probably would have tried to fight him. This is me. I would have tried to fight him and then ran away while he was down. So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray that I'm never in that situation because I'll probably mess around and get
Because
killed.
he gonna get
I'm
them
trying
ones
to
and
be Betty
twos.
badass.
He
Yeah.
gonna get killed. I'm gonna have to go and bail you out. Like, how much is the bail set for?
That's what I said. I was like sitting there trying to be Betty badass and turn around and get killed. But that's me, I
No,
guess.
you would
I'd
end up
have to
killing him.
fight.
Leave the
Yeah.
like, whole gangster.
Especially if I start thinking about, oh my God, I'm never gonna see my kids, I'm never gonna see my Reenie, I'm never gonna see my Kyrie. Okay, now it's time to fight. It's time to fight, nigga. We're gonna fight to the
Right.
death.
How we gonna do it, baby?
We're gonna do it. Let's get it on. One of us gotta go. Yeah,
And it ain't
so
gonna be me. I promise that.
definitely not. I'll play dead and then get you while you standing over my body.
You know, I was
All right.
thinking, it was talking about she has two stalkers, but I think she has three. I think we can include Mike in this stalker list because he's
Oh
lurking
Lord Jesus, maybe even Antonio.
Oh Lord.
Golly.
And then
right.
Golly.
Right. She has a lot of men like
Oh
just
my God.
swooning
that's
over
why
her.
them hoes is hating. She ain't even
Because
trying.
they could never.
Because they could never. They
They
could
could
never.
never.
Shoot, they men probably want her too.
That's wild.
So
What?
yeah, and then Mike does. Mike has the help of her family, so yeah, he definitely could keep tabs on her very easily.
Yeah.
So
And she still got all
praise
this
God.
junk with April in the wind. Oh my God. Yeah, she's got a
Oh
lot going
yeah,
on right now.
she got a lot on her
Oh
plate.
my God. Yeah, I didn't even think about adding those extra people there. And him screaming, this B is over. He definitely was like, listen, if I can't have Malia, if I can't have her, oh, okay, yeah, she got to go. Which is like really crazy, but that's what people like this dude, if I can't have you, nobody else is going to have you. I'll take you out so that if I can't enjoy you, other people won't be able to enjoy you. And the thing is, even if Malia was like, Chris, that was so wonderful. I've seen it where women dated their stalkers and didn't know that like he was a stalker, dated
Oh
the
no.
dude, and then found out like he was just like crazy. And then they usually are like super abusive, and they're verbally, abusive, and physically as well. Like, you went all this way to get this woman and wine and dine her. And now you punching her in her face and burning up her clothes and killing the animals. And I watched an episode a few weeks ago where this woman was dating this man, and she went to like the mall. She was like, okay, I'm going to go to the mall. I'll be right back. And so she came back from the mall like within an hour, and she even bought him something. And he set his chair right in front of the door. So when she opened the door, he was standing there. He was like, yeah, I know what you're doing. You've been sucking cock in the parking lot, making $20 at the mall. She was like, whoa, wait a minute.
God.
I said, I was talking to myself because there was nobody else in the room. And I was like, he just told on himself. That's what he's been doing. He's been driving around the mall looking for prostitutes for himself, a little $20 job, right? But I mean, and he attacked her. And then she put him out, and the attacks didn't stop. She started being a little stupid, like meeting up with him, like, well, let's talk about this. Let's have some closure. Women in the closure. You don't need no closure. That block button, changing the locks to your house, that's your closure. You don't need to meet with nobody,
Right.
because he took her out to the desert and then tried to kill her and then left her out there. It was crazy. But, just doing stuff like, you said you come back an hour. And that was, 75 minutes ago. What? So you were tracking like, it was just crazy to me, like what people were going through in these types of situations. But they're not safe individuals. They will hurt you. With him saying that Malia was over, he meant that, because if he can't have her, he definitely is going to do it. And Kyrie made up some really like good statements about she's got more than just these two. She's got Mike, who's stalking her. Now she's got Antonio, who's obsessed with her. She hasn't spoken to him ever since that whole situation at his house. So I'm sure he's somewhere parked around the corner, and let me get a glimpse of her walking in her heels into the store. So it's just like, when does it ever end? And so you start to realize how common that actually is. Like, I think a lot of men don't realize that's stalkerish behavior. Well, I'm not bothering her, but you're watching her. You literally know where she's going to be, and I'm watching from afar. But what does that do for you? Like what? No, I just want to make sure I see her. Okay, yeah. So Malia's got her hands full, baby, and it does just keep getting worse. And we like that work. We like that action. Any closing thoughts, ladies?
Mm-mm.
All righty. Well, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of Rose City. We hope you enjoyed our discussion on episode 27, and so it begins. Don't forget to tune in next week. We will be diving into episode 28, Graduation Day. Malia is graduating, okay? If you haven't already, like, what are you waiting for? The first 3 episodes are free on Kindle Vella, so you really have no reason not to check out this amazing story. We're sure you'll be hooked. We're hooked. New episodes are being published each week. We'd love to hear from our readers, so please add your thoughts, your questions, and your theories to the comments, or reach out to us on Rose City, the after show on Facebook. All links will be provided in the description. Thanks again for tuning into Rose City. We'll see you again next time. Bye.